Hi, Cancer.
Hi, Cancer.
We're back.
And front. Okay, this is the part in the program where Dawn and I get to sit and get real with ourselves as well as the other Cancerians. Because she and I are both Cancer. So, we start off with the energy of the day, and of course, for a Cancer reading, it comes up with
Home. What's it say about home? This is
It
the
says a
Beyond.
lot of shit about
This is the Beyond Lemuria deck. Okay.
Guys, our brothers and sisters from Moo. Well, actually, they're androgynous. But anyway, this card invites you to align with your temple space. Consider all the amazing things your body does and how you effortlessly move through reality. Become aware of the many gifts that come from a deep sense of truly occupying yourself, being present. Often very intuitive souls exist within the upper chakras and may struggle with the density of humaning.
The lower chakras. Yes.
Say that, humaning. Okay, that's kind of like me. I don't get it sometimes. The density, I guess, I don't know. You may not feel like you are from here, but as if though you're more accustomed to navigating a world with different parameters. Absolutely. One that makes sense. At this time on earth, it is a blessing to have a vessel of a body. It is an opportunity to make a difference, so celebrate it. You have dreams and visions and may yearn to float around in more etheric realms, which is the flying bridge, yeah. But it is when we are fully grounded and present in our bodies that we can actualize these ideas and make the difference here. Be grounded. Find your home. Just as a tree, the deeper our roots, the higher we can reach into the heavens. Yes. You want this time? No, you're already out. Oh.
Okay. So
I'll go first on the fire sign.
So Cancer. We are our own worst enemy, our own worst critic, the hardest on ourselves out of everybody around. We tend to give the most love and the most nurturing and deprive ourselves of it. And that is exactly what is going on here. However, at this point in time, we are finally starting to lighten up on ourselves. Okay? And I must say, it is being divinely guided. Alright? We have the Nine of Swords upside down. We're at the end of a cycle. Of being in our heads all the time and constantly critiquing ourselves. We're finally starting to see the light. We are finally letting go of regrets, understanding that things are a co-creation, and even though we had a part in it, we were not the end-all, be-all part in the things that have gone wrong in our lives. We're at a point where we're making choices, trying to decide which path are we going to go down. Are we going to take the dark route, or are we going to take the light path? Okay? Now, got this upside down Three of Pentacles here. And this is a couple of things. It's having been in this state of depression for so long that we don't see the value and abundance that we do have around us. Okay? It is also not wanting to learn and take responsibility for the way that things have gone, are going, in our lives. It's not necessarily wanting to make changes. And when a Cancer is in their upside down Queen of Wands energy, that is very much so. That is pointing fingers, lashing out, throwing temper tantrums.
Manifesting mayhem.
Yes, thank you. Okay, it is feeling like our wish was not granted. However, I'm going to go back up here. We've got this High Priestess up here. Okay, sometimes things don't come together like we want them to because it's not in the divine plan. Okay,
It's actually
just
saving.
because we want things to go that way does not mean that that's what's in our highest interest. And once we figure that out, then we get to step in our nurturing energy, get to become this empress who has understanding in the value of all things, both good and bad, positive, negative. This didn't go my way. Why did it happen this way? How does that benefit me? What lessons did I learn from it? It's not always everything has to go my way. And when you realize that and you realize that you are co-creating with everybody that you're in contact with as you're nurturing and guiding, they are individuals as well. And they are not extensions of us, which is something that I think that we sometimes forget. Ace of Cups energy. That's phenomenal. Okay. Ace of Cups is you are realizing that you are in charge of your own destiny. Okay. And your perspective on things the way that they happen, that helps decide how you fill this cup. And then we've got this little set of energy over here. So all this mayhem, all this upside down energy has been based on this upside down Page of Cups. Okay, the Five of Swords and the Four of Swords. Okay, this upside down Page of Cups, you're not trying to hear something about love. You wanted it to go your way, and you are highly upset that it did not. Okay, emotions are emotions, and they're hard to deal with sometimes, but we still have to deal with them. This victory at all costs, I don't get the feeling that it's actually that I must win because I said this is what I wanted. I'm not getting the feeling that that's what this is at this point in time. This is more coming to the understanding that other people play a part too, and it is a co-creation. And I think that this card is here because we have realized that sometimes even a loss is actually a victory. And I know that's kind of hard to get. The song by Beyonce, The Best Thing I Never Had, comes into play right now. You showed the true you, and I have to thank you because I had to realize that I had to walk away because you were not my divine counterpart. Or you were not acting as my divine counterpart because there are still traumas and things that you need to heal within yourself. And this is being in a state of rest in order to heal yourself. And I believe that that is where Cancers are. Cancers are in their homes, spring cleaning, fall cleaning, whatever it is, they're getting rid of the old shit so that they can make way for the new journey that they're about to embark on.
No, I noticed something about that Four of Swords.
What's
Those
that?
3 swords above it are still the me, myself, and I sword. What he's touching down there is the sword of truth. Those are the same swords that are in the heart.
Same angle and everything.
Yeah. And that's the truth comes from the divine. That's a near miss. And that's what that fight. In other words, you dodged a bullet. Sometimes your loss is your gain because you dodged a bullet.
Song I just
I don't think I've heard it.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I've got a bit of a different message.
Does that mean I was the bad cop and you're the good cop, or are you the good cop and I'm the bad cop?
Well, I think it kind of fits in together because I think at some point in every Cancer's life, we've both been the good and the bad side.
Oh yes.
Okay, now when we are working from that wounded upside down queen over there, when we're working from that trauma, that's very manipulative. But what gets me on that message is that all of the painful cards are upside down.
That means that they're coming through it. They're processing, they're releasing, they're letting go. They're getting rid of stuff so that they can get back to their sacred home.
Right. And I
Empress.
think with the 2 of the High Priestess, they're releasing things that nobody sees with this upside down queen. So,
like I said, we are our own worst enemies.
yes. We can be. But we can, I mean, not all the time though.
Right.
Because I'm not going to lay this all on everything's about us because I'm working against my own belief that everything is about unity. So there are times that we can be in a situation where it isn't about us, it's about somebody else's pain. You know, and sometimes that upside down queen helps them realize what they're bringing. So, I'm going to say that High Priestess would know. I mean, she knows secrets. But with that Empress and that Cup right side off, I kind of think of the Queen as kind of a Kali Ma, too. Which has a lot to do with mother. And so I can see a lot in your cards and how they're reflecting here. Because even though that fuckery energy is there, and we very much can be from a hurt state, that manipulative energy. But here's the thing. In seeing things in the bigger picture, which this is what you got the ace. I got 2 aces right off the bat. And it's about what you value and your passions. And building from these 2 to the 10 of Pentacles by moving away from that stagnant energy. Okay, and but what I mean is that waiting. We have a tendency to wait, to have to want to do the right thing, to have to want to. I mean, we're literally stealing our own victories because we're not trusting the truth of spirit when it comes to any kind of positive ego, any kind of self-assurance. We tend to deny ourselves. We'll give it to every fucking body else on the planet, even people that don't deserve it. But now we're seeing the truth of how much we have robbed ourselves of our own celebrations by not seeing the beauty within. And right now, that light on this hermit seems awful small. And to me, that's a message. Here, see? That's a message. Hey! Do you see this little guy going, hey! Hey! Hey, Cancer! We gotta make this light bigger. But we can't do it if you can't see it. So what I see is a lot of Cancers standing up and understanding their value and their truth. I see them being strong for the right reasons. Because in a lot of ways that people don't understand, balance comes in ways sometimes we don't expect it with this Justice card. And when we allow our joy to be stolen because we don't see our own light, because we don't bring it, because we don't understand it, because we don't love it, and we don't stand in that truth, and we don't stand in that power and magic, if we don't get the message from Spirit, if we don't stand in our strength, if we don't bring that light, because we don't see it, it's too small. We see it in every fucking body else. We even magnify it in everybody else. What's the problem here? This is Cancer. This is the mother of all lovers. This is who we are. This is what we're here for. This. Not only that, but what's not present here is the Ten of Cups. But it doesn't matter because those cups, that emotion, can be a pinnacle. And to most Cancers it is because it's what they value. Pentacles does not need to be money. And the fact that this is showing up in a Cancer reading kind of makes me feel that way. Is that we're shifting the idea of value from money to love. And I feel like that you, Cancers, us, we are the ones trying to bring that peace, to bring us into calmer waters. And we have to quit waiting. If we want a victory, if we want to celebrate, if we want that sun to shine, we have to stand in our strength. We have to understand. We have to bring the message. The same message that we're getting from Spirit. See that light? That light's your gift from me. You're supposed to bring it here, through your home, through your temple. You're supposed to bring it and share it with us. And celebrate that light. Not the toxic ego. Not the money. That's not the important stuff. That's going to stay here. The only thing that gets written in eternity is literally how well you loved. Not just others, but mostly yourself. How much you honored yourself and the spirit that's within you. As you walk through this world, how much did you respect yourself? How much did you take care of yourself? How much did you allow others to disrespect you? How much did you allow others to not allow you to take care of yourself? It's all being seen on, how many mistakes we've made. We're starting to get the actual message of love. And we're beginning to trust it instead of the lies, instead of what we're told it's supposed to be. We're letting it become the living thing that it is meant to be. Just like the spirit inside of us. It is a living thing. It is there to guide us to be what we are meant to be. We can see it in everybody else. And usually Cancer actually carries more of that understanding and light than other people, yet we have a hard time. Even though we can see it in other Cancers, we have a hard time seeing it within ourselves, and we're really going to stand in that knowledge. That love that we have, it doesn't matter how everybody's treated it. It doesn't matter that they don't understand it. What's important is that you understand yourself. And you try not to be that manipulative, But when you get to a certain point, though, you got to bring those towers. Whatever it fucking takes, you got to bring those towers because this is all fake. They have to fall. What's unseen has to be seen. The kinks in the armor. That's a full moon there. Are those wolves going to eat you? Back there in the shadows? Or are they actually watching over you? What are you building? What are you building on? Because to me, the moon is kind of like a subconscious cartoon. Because if we don't see our worth, I mean, how good would that little light be right now in the darkness of the night? Not a lot. You think you'd appreciate yourself then, right? So I think what we're doing is we're shedding those fears of not being worthy. I think we're going to start embracing that light enough to bring down towers of what is not true. And I think that's going to bring us to a whole new level of transformation. Not within co-creation. Like we've only been using half our power. Here we go. Star. Healing. Not only that, it's a guide. Something that the cup of Cancer has is that love, that divine love, that unconditional love, truth of love. When they are a healed, feminine or masculine, they are a guide. They are a teacher. They are a soulmate. And what were you saying about loss and getting a new perspective of it? Okay. Right after that, we have the Five of Cups, which is all about loss. And right after that, we have the Temperance. And then we have the upside down world. Now, with the upside down world, I'm saying that somebody get a new perspective of why they're stuck. Because you ain't seeing yourself clearly. You aren't giving yourself credit. If you aren't giving yourself credit, you aren't giving anybody else credit either. Because you're unable to. Truly. You may say you are, and you may even see it in other people, but are you really giving somebody credit that you can't give yourself? Or are you just giving somebody credit that you wish somebody would give yourself? That's what this self-discovery is all about, guys. And these are the questions we really need to ask ourselves. And we need to not be afraid to ask ourselves. Because if we're afraid to look at ourselves,
We never look at ourselves in the mirror.
exactly. And if we're not honest about, who we are. And I've always been honest about who I am. It's like, don't piss me off. I'm a bitch on wheels. Just the way it is. Now, depending on, in my defense, it takes a lot. It takes a real dumbass to piss me off. Okay? I don't care what anybody says about me. When I blow, that motherfucker deserved it. Don't care what anybody says, because it takes more than 3 or 4 times of having the same conversation about respect and boundaries before I fucking lose it. And they better be big boundaries, not, you left your socks on the floor again. No, I'm talking about when I take the time to set boundaries. First of all, boundaries piss me off. I think in the human ways, we should automatically have a respect for.
In a positive co-creation,
Yes,
we shouldn't have to set boundaries because the other person would respect enough that there wouldn't be a need for a boundary.
right.
But
Because
that comes in the same morals and values and whatnot.
as your crowd,
Yeah.
right? But people know if they don't have the same morals and values as you, and they try and butt up where they don't belong. They end up hurting people, and then they end up trying to blame people because they're hurt, because they're not supposed to, whatever. You know the kind of fuckery. We're all dealing with it in some way, whether we're generating it or whether we're receiving it. Enough's enough. It's time to be happy. It's time to see the value in yourself and the value in spirit and make that home within yourself. Don't even worry about other people right now, really. Just take care of you, boo. Because what you have in your cup is what this world needs.
All right, guys. Be blessed.
Blessed be.
Namaste.